Hey, gorgeous ones. Hey, gorgeous ones. Okay, so yes, I know my hair is like wild as hell and my eyes are super dramatic, but it is for, one of my looks. So, and yes, you will see how I did this. I don't know. Let me know what you think of it. Anyway, anyhow, it is Friday and I was watching, I'm looking at my trend mood. I'm on my YouTube and guess what I saw? Jeffree dropped his new Thirsty collection. And this is like so crazy because I never think this way when I see things like that. But I immediately looked at it and said, oh, I could dupe that because I'm not that girl. Y'all know I don't dupe things. But I was looking at it and I think because now I'm trying to be a little more discerning about my expenditures, my makeup expenditures, I'm now looking at things a little differently and a little more critical. That's what I want to say. I'm looking, especially when it comes to eyeshadow palettes, because it's so easy for me to go, ooh, I need that palette. Ooh, I need that palette. Let me get it. Let me get it. And so now, and I've been buying a lot of palettes lately in a lot of different colors. So when I looked at what he showed, I was like, please, I have all that. So if you would like to see how I could dupe the Thirsty palette that's coming out, and maybe you could too, stay right here. Oh, okay. So now let's just talk about the Thirsty palette and how this came about. I don't think, normally I don't look at things like that and think, oh, I should dupe the palette. But it just was like, oh, okay, so I could do this. Now let's just first talk about the palette itself and then we'll start duping it. So I'm going to put it up here and I'm looking at it right here. Now let's look at the palette. This palette is a real neutral palette, y'all. I mean, even the metallics are pretty neutral colors. And then he's got pops of color in there. And I will say this in reference to this particular collection for this eyeshadow palette for Jeffree. This is his most mainstream kind of neutrally palette yet, because really if you look at it, it's really on point with what's going on. It's a warm neutral palette and it's leading toward the corals and the pinks, and those are hot. And then he's got metallics, and then he's got a few pops of color. So when I looked at it, it was like, well, shit, I've been buying a lot of stuff like this lately. So really, no, I don't really need this. So let me show you what I've come up with to dupe this palette right here. So I'm going to leave this up here so you can see it. And then I'm going to show you what I have. And then we can talk about it. All right. So the first color is Parched on that first row. And that's like, it's kind of like, transitional color, brow bone color, very like, almost a bone color, but it actually pulls a little pink. Well, guess what I got right here just recently? Let me just show y'all what I got just recently. I just got the Nouveau Neutrals by BH Cosmetics. And I promise you, a lot of his colors are right in here, especially on that first row. That first row is almost all here, y'all. So let's go on and check this out. Let's check it out. So the first one, which is Parched, let me show you. It's right here. Right here. It's right here. Now let me show you when I swatch it. Now on me, it's going to pull much more pink, so you see the pink in it. So it's like a bone color with the pink undertone. So it's a very soft pink, but so beautiful. So there we have. Now next up is his coral color, which is Taste Buds. Now let's talk about Taste Buds. Taste Buds is like a melony, a melon color, I would think. So let's see what we have here. Now we have this one right next to it. Now let me tell you why I say this works. This is actually a soft shimmer in here. His is a matte, but this is so almost a matte anyway, so that it doesn't even matter, this whole little soft shimmer thing, because you don't even see the shimmer in it. So it's right here, and it comes off almost just like his color right here. Let me put a little more on there so you can see it good. And it's like that, peachy, pinky, corally, peachy color right there. So it's like that pink with a little peach in it. So it gives you that little vibe. Now this is a little more pink than his. His is a little more coral, but I actually have something else that you could use just in case you need a little more coral, and that's here in this palette, the Weekend Festival by BH Cosmetics. Also, I'm telling y'all, BH is killing it. And so if you want something, we can take Candy in here, and this will give you more of a, my hands. It'll give you a more of a peachy, corally color. So that one's a little more coral, where that one is a little more pink. So either one, you got that. Now the next one is Bitch. And now let me show you Bitch. Bitch is right up in here too. Bitch is this one right here, right here. Bitch is this one. It's a true coral. You know, it's just that bright, bright coral that you want to have. And it's a bright coral, y'all. It's a bright coral. Y'all see that? It's a bright coral. There we have. Then next up is Kumquat. So now Kumquat pulls a little bit darker. Boom, right next to that. Right next to that. We got it. We got it. We got it. Right there. Right there. My skin is so messed up, y'all. I mean, if y'all could see it. There we go. There we go. So there's that Kumquat. That'll give you that nice little darker, you know, pop of coral that you want. All right, then finally we have Strike. Got Strike too, man. Got Strike too. Got it, got it, got it. Now, I think I'm going to take that one from right here, because Strike is a little bit darker. You know, it's got a little darker into it. So let's go back to my Weekend Festival palette. And I think we're going to go with Escape right here. Now, this Escape is going to be a little bit darker. It's a little more brown toned, but it will pass really well for that one too. So it's got enough orange undertones in it to work. So it's like more of a, it's got a brown in it, but it's got that little, you know, vibe right there to it. All right, now that next row, 5 metallics. Then let's look at these metallics. The metallics, now he said it's a special form, it's a new formula, it's like softer or whatever. That might be fine, and it's glitter, you know. However, we're talking about metallics, and most of us have these metallics. He's got a copper, he's got a gold, he's got, you know, like some silvery colors and everything. So here's what I got, and many of you have it too. The Urban Decay Heavy Metals palette. If you bought this over the winter, you've got every color he's got and then some, because right here has every color. This has a lot of the colors he has right there. It has the different tones in that golds and coppers. And then if you want the silvers, you just come on over to this side and boom, there's a silver. Boom, and there's another silver, and there's a darker. So there you have that right there. Now, if you don't have this palette, I'm sure, let's just be honest, I'm sure you've got these 17 times over, because these are basic metallic colors. These are not anything, they're not like, okay, they're not glitter or metallic like the pinky rose ones right here, where you're gonna go, ooh, I ain't got these. You know, they ain't that. There's not this pink right there. They're not, no, they're not that. They're basic metallics. And also the Weekend Festival palette, which we know is one of my favorites, has those similar colors too. It has the coppery colors right there, and that Solstice and Boho, and this one has a little duochrome in it. Then it's got a gold in here, it's got a silver. Now this silver is not as intense as his, but I'm sure you have something with the intense silver. The other thing you could also use is the Tarte Believe in Yourself or whatever that was out last summer. That has some good metallics too. So if you have anything like this, you have that whole row of metallics. All right, so now let's talk about the last row, and let's get to the first one. Let's talk Subtle. Now, Subtle is like a mauvey brownie color, you know, and it is a subtle color, and it is a cool tone neutral. So it's a very neutral palette. So let's go back into the Nouveau neutrals, and let's see what it has for us today. It has quite a few that we could choose from. So let's go with subtle, because this one is more to the color, but it has a little more mauve to it, whereas his pulls a little more red. But this one right here is very similar to the color he has. Now this, of course, is a mauve, so it doesn't have but it has a cool toned undertone. Now they also have this one right here in the palette, which will give you a little more brown. So you know, I'm good with these. I know that, you know, this is a really pretty brown, but if I can't dupe that one exactly, but I can dupe everything else, I'm okay with that. Now, next up is that yellow, which is called Quench. Now, that one could be a little more difficult because yellows are a little more difficult to find. But guess what? Boom! In the Pinky Rose. The Pinky Rose Bright Lights that I have sitting right here that I just got for my birthday has a bright ass yellow. A bright ass yellow, y'all. Let's swatch it and see what it looks like. How about that? So let's talk about, so, you know, you want to have, you know, you talking thirsty like a lemonade-y color. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Look at that yellow. If that yellow does not fall in line with his yellow, boom, there you have it. Now, next up is Submerge. And now, when you look at the picture, those two colors, those two blues look alike, but when I saw him swatch them, there is a subtle difference. Submerge is more of a blue. It's a true blue. It's like a bright baby blue. Whereas Splash is more of a teal color. It's a blue teal, you know, it's a blue-green teal, but it's more on the blue side. That's why when you look at them side by side, they look so alike. They probably should have like put that yellow in between, because honestly, when you look at it like that, it really does look like the same color. So let's talk about that one though. Let's talk about Cloud here in the Pinky Rose. And this is Submerge all day, because it's that true blue color. True babyish blue, but bright blue. That's what he has right there. Now, when it comes down to Splash, the trick is it needs to be like a bluish teal. And so, let's go back here, darlings, right here to the color in Weekend Festival, Palooza. And you're going to see the slight, subtle difference in those, whereas this one is more blue. This one is definitely a teal because it's got the green in it, but it pulls a little more blue. And that's why it's together they look almost like the same color, but they really aren't. There is a subtle difference when you see them in person. Now, last but not least is brown. And I get why he put the brown in there, because people want a complete palette. I personally don't care about having a brown because I got 15,000 browns and I got 17,000 blacks. But people do want a cohesive palette that makes it feel like I only need one palette when I go out of town. I only need to pull out one palette. So therefore, he did put that brown in there, which is, you know, a standard brown. And I know he talking about this is so chocolatey. Here's a brown right there. The same exact brown right there. Hipster is the same kind of brown. Look at that brown. Look at that brown. Look at that brown. Same brown. Same brown. Okay, same brown. Same brown. That's all I'm saying. Thumbs up. What do you think? Do you think I duped it pretty good? Do you think I kind of pretty much can dupe this? And how many palettes did I use? I used 1, 2, 3. I thought 4. But you can actually get away with it in 3 palettes. And let me just say this. Together, these probably cost about the same as his one palette. And you got a whole lot of more extra stuff. Because let's talk about it. The Pinky Rose palette is $24.99. The Festival is $18, and this one is about $18, but we all know BH Cosmetics you can get on sale, because matter of fact, they had this one for $10. So it will wind up costing you about the same amount, and you'd have more colors. I'm just saying. All right, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have anything to say, you know, if you want, what do you think about duping this one? Did I do a good job? This is my first dupe, y'all. And if you are new and you made it this far, the only polite thing to do is on your way out to hit the subscribe button. Because, you know, you've been hanging out on my YouTube channel. It's just a polite thing to do. And yes, my hair is big and my makeup is wild, but I'm 51 years old and I can do what the fuck I want. Y'all have a great day and may life treat you kind.